the end result is pretty spectacular. You're thinking, how long have these people been together?
It's really hard not to have heard about this seminar because everyone has done it at some point.
I first found out about the New York String Orchestra Seminar from my teacher back in high school.
I had a few friends that have done it in the past, and they've all just acclaimed that it's such an amazing program to be a part of.
My private teacher told me first, and I was really excited. I didn't think I would get in, but for some reason.
Also, just hanging out in Manhattan for a couple days because I've never been to New York City before, so it seemed like a win-win to me.
Honestly, the schedule, it's kind of all day, every day a little bit.
It's kind of insane that we're performing in a week, and we'll have met everyone tomorrow.
Well, here we are.
It's kind of, we all step in and sit down and we're like, okay, what's gonna happen?
Let's start with Mendelssohn.
But it sounded really great, even from the first downbeat.
We had a piece by Mendelssohn that had a lot of really tough licks in it, and I was honestly, personally super excited when everyone nailed all of them. That was fun. Oh, nice job, guys.
The level is extraordinarily high. Everyone who got in here has something very special, and they have a real spark.
So early on, I think one of the big things Mr. Laredo wants is just the over-exaggeration of dynamics.
Things like that little crescendo there. More, okay? More crescendo and more going away.
Since it is a smaller orchestra, there are some parts that need to be really loud, but also need to be pretty small. I think we're still trying to figure that out.
In a few days, we're going to perform in Carnegie Hall. That's a big challenge, but they're up to it. They're all here on scholarship. Their hotel and all their meals and transportation, everything's taken care of.
If they're accepted, they get to come to New York City for 10 days at Christmas time, holiday time. I think they form lifelong friendships here.
My first year was in 2015, and everybody was so young and very energetic and very passionate about what they were doing. But also just knowing how genuine they are as people. And that really gave me the motivation to continue with music. I felt like I was a part of a family.
It all began here in New York at Christmas time.
Frank Salomon, he and Sasha founded this thing in 1969.
So the proverbial light bulb went on in my head. I thought maybe we can do something with young musicians and Sasha, who has so much to give in his knowledge and passion for music.
Well, welcome. And
Number one, there was Alexander Schneider, Sasha, with this tremendous energy. And there was no way you couldn't play well.
Sasha was an incredibly inspiring, demanding, and world-opening kind of musician.
He was so energetic, from the morning to the evening, and we played like 10 hours a day.
It's like, rah! And then you realize he's this lovable guy with all this energy and just wanted to share it.
I was just smitten right away.
10 days coached by an incredibly world-renowned faculty.
Felix Gallimere, Sasha, and Misha Schneider, and Michael Tree, and Isidore Cohen. They were legendary. I had grown up listening to them play. And to be around these people was such an experience for all of us.
I learned a lot about where I stand in the music scene, where and how far I have to go, which is infinite.
When the New York String Orchestra started, they performed a midnight concert on Christmas Eve. They thought, is anybody going to come?
There it is.
Not only did they sell out, there were hundreds of people out in the lobby trying to get in.
We felt as students and as participants that we were in some kind of fairy tale magic land, where we walked into the most famous concert hall in the world at midnight and played a concert to a completely sold out house. And then we'd come out at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning and it would often be snowing.
I just remember looking out and just knowing in my heart of hearts that this was going to be something that would be kind of transformational in my life, that I would never forget that feeling.
There is one thing which you hear from them, you will never hear from any other orchestra in the world. The spontaneity and they want to make music, the feeling from inside, each one of them.
One evening we were having dinner, he got sort of philosophical mood, and he was talking about the seminar and how it was the most important thing in his life. So he said to me, after I'm gone, I want you to continue it. I want you to be the head of it. And a few years later, after he died, Frank Salomon called me and he said, well, I know you promised Sasha, so how about it? What I try to instill is to get them to really feel passionately about what they're doing. For them to feel that what they're doing is more important than anything else that they could ever do in their life. They work like dogs, they really do.
We have rehearsal from 10 to 1, rehearsal from 2 to 5, and then some chamber music, rehearsals or coachings, and then we'll have a dinner break and then more chamber music.
I always remember the great conductor George Zell. He said, to be a great orchestra, you have to play like a string quartet. Orchestra playing doesn't mean you just sit back and follow the stick. You have to learn to play together with your colleagues.
The orchestra was thrilling, really thrilling, but the chamber music was eye-opening.
So you did that, but then you went on hiatus. Does that make sense?
That's really what orchestral playing is. Chamber music with 100 other musicians.
We started working only yesterday, and already the growth is amazing. And I know that it's going to keep going like this every day.
When you hear Carnegie Hall growing up, you're kind of like, that's such a dream. Like a place where you just kind of, you'd like to get to there at one point.
And I had never been on that stage before, and I remember Sasha saying, look around, you are in one of the most wonderful halls in the world.
You feel like you made it when you get on the stage at Carnegie Hall, especially with a group that is so good.
What an introduction into the big time.
so much enthusiasm and excitement on stage from the orchestra. I guess we had that too when we were participating. Absolutely. It's so special to come back now.
Those 2 or 3 performances really gave me a sense that I could do this, that I could compete with the best musicians in the world and play music with the best musicians in the world.
Awesome. It's a pleasure playing with
you. There are 56 very enthusiastic, eager players who really want to do their best. The sound is very vigorous and very live, you know, and there's not a moment or a second of routine in it. Tonight is Christmas Eve and I will be performing with this wonderful New York String Orchestra and the great Jaime Laredo. So I have a few hours left, so I have to practice.
Walking on stage and looking up into the audience and seeing every seat filled was really overwhelming.
I've never seen a sold out audience before. And then we were in Carnegie Hall too. That felt really good.
I almost tripped.
This feeling that it's done purely for love, for audiences, I think, coming into contact with that is really meaningful. I've been coming now for 20 years and I can't imagine not marking the day with this encounter.
And of course, by the end, they're exhausted because on top of this, you know, when they're finished for the day, they don't go home and go to sleep.
We get Christmas Day off, and there's some activities that you could sign up for. I don't know what they are, but I signed up for them.
They're here on their own. They only have each other, and they work very, very hard. It's a very different experience than being taken by your parents for a family vacation.
Everlasting friendships. I'm still friends with everybody who participated with me, actually. Very close, too.
That's no good. You shouldn't be showing how much food I take.
I think we're all here for you forever. It's a big family. Anyway, take care, guys, and we'll have fun tomorrow.
Being together all day long and creating this sense of community, the whole thing just completely turned me on to the world of classical music, and it made me want to be a part of that. And I thought to myself, if I could do this professionally, if I could make money doing this all day long, then I'm going to work as hard as I can to make that happen. And that's all because of the seminar. So it's even more of a special feeling and an honor to be asked to conduct a piece on this program.
Today we worked with Joshua Bell, who was incredible.
Well, this is really the cream of the crop of this generation. I'd always wanted to play in this orchestra because some of my friends did. And here I am on the 50th year getting to play with them.
This is really a very special year, being the 50th. And I'm so excited that we're having so many alumni come back and join us, and they're going to be playing with the kids.
It's all the alumni's fault. It sounded great yesterday.
The orchestra, of course, they got a head start on us old-timers.
Having our heroes right next to us, it's going to give us the little edge to go for it even more.
The excitement that I felt when I was 18 or 19 playing on this stage, it all comes rushing back.
I just kind of look around, alumni, the kids, Jaime Laredo, the founder, Frank Salomon. Everybody just has this kind of cosmic connection happening today.
It was a lot more intense than I anticipated, but now that it's the last day, I'm actually really sad.
At the end of the day, we've now become very close friends, and it's, yeah, I'm gonna miss these guys.
Go to school with you.
In a way, you know, an orchestra period is kind of a miracle in itself. Each individual player has studied their whole lives to do what they're doing. When they come together and they can play a huge symphony.
You have to work together to fix things.
And if you think about it, these are the same attributes that we need in our personal relationships.
Especially in the way the world is sort of very comforting to know that music can bring people happiness.
For us to be able to have that power, to do that is pretty incredible.
Well, you see, there's hope for the future.